Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Geo for Geography and myself Akshay Guru. So guys, today I am here with one of the most interesting, I really like this, this particular explanation actually to explain further. This theory that deals with the geopolitical aspects and geopolitical relationship between the different powers as in. See, this theory, it deals with how the world is, the whole world just could be governed, or which is that source region, which is that heartland region, which has the potential to drive the destinies of the world. And that is what simply the heartland theory. It equally deals with which type of power is rather superior. Which type of power rather superior we'll be discussing. So this theory, I really find it interesting. You will find it is important from the geography optional perspective, from UGC NET perspective as well, that examination, and maybe for your general understanding as well, because you will find the many applications of this theory in the contemporary times as well. So without wasting much of your time, I shall explain this theory now in this video. To watch it till the end, and believe me, I'll assure you that by the end of this video you will be having pretty much clarity over what this heartland theory explains. So see guys, first, this theory as in the very first, it was proposed by the Lord Halford Mackinder. He was a British geographer and like geopolitical thinker as well. And he believes, right, he believed in the fact that he was a member of the House of Lords as well, the upper house of the British Parliament. So Mackinder's theory is a spatial analysis of the geopolitics. Yeah, it is a spatial analysis, spatial in the sense space-wise analysis of geopolitics in terms of its location, accessibility and natural resource base. So for any particular like geopolitical happening, you will find it is actually a result of, according to what this theory proposed, its location matter, that is equally space determinism if you can connect with. It is accessibility, how accessible it is with the, say, to the different parts as well, and how easily it can connect with the other world as well, and the strong or like natural resource base that defines the position of that land or area in the overall geopolitical aspects. So मैकिंडर का ये क्लियर ओपिनियन था कि वर्ल्ड में जो लैंड है, मतलब ये सारा जो हार्ट लैंड जो बनेगा इनफैक्ट, तो ये लोकेशन, एसेसिबिलिटी और रिसोर्स बेस, इनका कंबाइंड रिजल्ट है दैट इट इज नाउ हैविंग ए पोटेंशियल टू गवर्न द लैंड. एंड इफ यू कंसीडर अंटार्कटिका ऑन दैट स्केल इज हैविंग लेस पोटेंशियल लाइक फॉर द जियोपॉलिटिक्स, द रीजन बीइंग लोकेशन, accessibility is poor, and natural resource base, though it is there, but very difficult to access them. So ये सारे conditions है that define the potentials of any region as in, right? Then his theory has laid down the principles of geographical causation of history. In fact, he is a firm believer of this concept, like historical geography, where geographical factors lies behind the development over in the history. कैसे, we'll be discussing over in the video itself. So according to him, geographical factors lies at the very root of the development of the history and even in the contemporary world and further in the future. So that is what again geography ka role over that comes in. He presented his paper with the name, you need to remember these names as well, because that will enrich your answer us. The geographical pivot of the history. See, the name itself indicate history and connect with the geography, in order to elucidate his formula of geographical causation of world history. And for that matter, he took lots of or many examples as in, just to explain this fact. अब यहाँ पर further Mackinder theorized the hypothesis of geopolitical rivalry between land power and sea power, and thus conflict led to several powers. So according to him, the geopolitical history of the world is simply a strong tussle between land power and sea power, and which is more dominant, like according to him, you'll find according to Lord Mackinder, see, like land power is there and sea power is there. Sea power मतलब land power मतलब क्या होगा, जिसका मेजर जो सोर्स है, नेचुरल बेस है, accessibility है, ये कॉन्टिनेंटल लोकेशन से आएगी, है ना. दैट नॉट नेसेसरीली इट शुड बी लैंड लॉक, बट स्टिल दैट पर्टिकुलर पावर, दैट पर्टिकुलर रीजन, इट शुड बी having much energy, much resources base, particularly from the land. So the thing is, in such a context, okay, in such a context, the thing is whether land power is superior or sea power, which is having a powerful navy, having colonies, increasing wealth and increasing the strength and capacity, is rather more powerful. Now the case, the explanation that comes with the Lord Mackinder, that is what the land power according to him is rather much more superior. See, for this matter he had given many examples जो अभी हम नहीं देखेंगे, but yes, for him land power is rather strong. Why? Because it has the strong resource base. Resource endowment is what the sustenance, the basis of sustenance of any country or any power. And according to him, land power, which is having a land based resources and equally accessible to the oceanic sources or resources, it is rather much more powerful. Okay? And thus its supremacy over the others, as well as since natural resources are found on the land, he must be narrow, having a narrow understanding on this count, but yeah, it is equally important. Now, on the basis of physical map of the world, Mackinder concluded that, see, अब यहाँ पर Mackinder ने एक नई concept introduce की. There are different concepts over here, like the world island. Now what does that mean by the world island? It simply reflects that there are 3 continental masses जो world island का part या territory form कर रहे हैं. Asia, Africa and Europe, right? Africa not as a whole, but Asia, Africa and Europe, ये तीनों मिलाकर क्या बना रहे हैं? World island. As in, अगर geography का evolution भी अगर आपने देखा होगा, so there only in the very initial part of the human history we were aware about only these 3 land masses. So world island is what the whole world is actually driven by, this world island. So that is what he was of the opinion. And some isolated islands, North and South America, Australia, Great Britain and Japan. So for him, these are like a isolated islands and having less significance comparatively. Then Mackinder in year 1903, he came out with his proposition based on all his understanding that the world is like of 3-tier spatial division. 3-tier spatial division. Which are those 3 tiers? You'll find पहला तो जो area है, that is known as, according to the pivot area. Now what is it pivot area? Pivot area is mainly of Siberia, some part of the Russia as well, the east of Ural as well. Then you will find the USSR वाला जो further part जो जाएगा, right? That means Central Asian part जो limited वाला, and Gobi and that particular part. China का hardly few area है that actually forms in the pivot area. Scandinavian islands are not even the part of this pivot area. Then next to it is a inner crescent land. Now inner crescent, it means the pivot area के जो peripheral margins में जो region हो गए, which include the Korean Peninsula, then you will find China, then Japan, then Southeast Asia, then West Asia and European part, right, comes under inner crescent part. And next is outer crescent or insular crescent, that is more or less like a isolated island for the Mackinder. So which includes North America, South America, newer land, in fact, New World, in fact, Africa, Australia, see, comes under the outer crescent or insular crescent wala part. So he divided world island, he defined world island first, then this inner crescent, outer crescent and the pivot area as well. See, now guys, we need to remember over in this theory for its explanation and writing as well in examination, हमको याद रखना है कुछ themes इसके. Themes जो मैंने already discuss किए. First theme is what? Land power is rather more superior than that of the sea. Yes, according to Lord Mackinder, land power is more superior, and for that matter, he had given many examples. I hope this particular chart is visible to you, and where see he took many examples. If it is not readable, so I am writing these names over here. Mongolian, Seljuks, then Timur's Empire, then Ottoman Empire, then Safavid Empire, then Russian Empire or Soviet Empire. All these empires, right? All this empire, if you trace their energy, if you trace their nature, if you trace their source, you will find that those empires having their soul energy coming from the pivot area itself. जो pivot area अभी हमने यहाँ locate किया है, this pivot area is rather the source of their energy. Take for Mongols, Genghis Khan, take for Tsars, take for the Russia, take for the Safavids, take for the Timur. You will find सारों का source कहीं ना कहीं इसी region में lie कर रहा है. And that it simply reflect this land power rather, you know, is much more resource based, is much more active, is much more, you know, having a counter potential to defeat even the sea power. And according to him, in the world there are rare examples कि जिसमें world में कोई sea power dominate कर रही थी, है ना. Even in the past there were rarely a sea power जिसमें, क्योंकि नेवी इतनी ज़्यादा डेवलप तो हुई नहीं थी, बट फिर भी कुछ एक्सटेंट पे you'll find sea power is comparatively inferior. That is what the opinion of the Alfred Mackinder. Now the second theme that then comes in, right? Land power is superior. Second theme is what? According to him, East Europe is the sole land, you know, the heartland of the region, where he considered the one who rules East Europe commands the heartland. Now what is this heartland? Right, the same pivot area in 1919 was later named as heartland by the Lord Mackinder. ठीक है, Lord Mackinder ने दो successive revision किए थे of his theory, first proposed in 1903. 1919 the second revision, and the 1943 the third revision of it, and important from the you know, understanding and examination perspective. So the who rules East Europe commands the heartland, who rules heartland commands the world island, Asia, Africa and Europe, and the who rules the world island commands the world. Thus the thing is, simple fact is, the one who rules East Europe has a significant potential to rule the world equally, and hence, okay, and hence the thing is, we have to look into this fact, okay, you should control East European region, that includes Siberia and East European means the Russian wala part, and then equally the Siberian wala part as well. Now you will find, see, 1903 1904, so he had considered this region as a heartland region, then inner crescent, marginal crescent and outland. What happened in 1919 after World War First? See, अब जो Mackinder ने जो भी revisions किए वो those are preferably after, you know, some geopolitical turmoils or say geopolitical shifting. So in 1919, what he modified his concept of strategic heartland, and there he expanded the heartland region into the inner peninsular region. And what he considered, that heartland is a region जिसका area जो पहले उसने बताया था उससे कहीं enhanced है या increased है, which includes the part of the Central Asia and the part of China as well, right? China का भी part include हो रहा है. Then you will find part of Europe as well, or Scandinavian islands equally included into the territory, right? I hope this must be visible to you guys. And where he considered then this fact that strategic heartland is rather somehow having a larger expansion, though बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं, but yeah, Europe का कुछ part, Scandinavian and Eastern Europe वाला region, then Central Asian and Chinese part you will find entered into the heartland, and the rest is rather the inner crescent or the marginal crescent region. What happened then in after Second World War? अब यहाँ पर Second World War has led to some some difficult conditions for the heartland theory. The reason being, what he considered that the outer crescent, or what he considered as a region जहां पर ये जो conditions है ना, the development of the geopolitical center is rather now shifting. He considered initially that this power center of the world rather lies over the heartland. But later he realized, considering the Second World War, जहाँ पे US or Western Europe वाला axis is now getting a dominance, है ना, over on the other world powers, he realized this fact, he missed something. And what he did then, he added the concept of a new land there, that is to be known as a new world itself, and that is known as a Midland Basin. Now what is this Midland Basin? Midland Basin is that simply surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean, north particularly, which includes the Western Europe, France, Belgium, Britain, etc., and North America. Now he considered, he realized this fact that the Western Europe and America combined is very different power, read, in comparison with any other land power equally. So he had modified this concept of the Midland Basin or the heartland as a whole, जिसमें North America कुछ part और Western Europe का majority part you will find is rather included in. And this then gives rise to a modified concept of a Midland Basin. Now according to him, heartland could be, face a threat from the Midland Basin, and that makes his theory rather, relevant even for the Second World War, that his successive revision. अब इस केस में देखो, his propositions are, do we find any applications of the Mackinder theory or heartland theory? Answer is absolutely yes. See, this theory is not proposed in a vacuum. It means it must have some real-time applications as well. And hence what he did then, he equally you will find in the current world there are some application, contemporary world maybe, or historical way maybe, there you will find pre-Cold War, say all this revolution emergence and superpowers are basically from the region. और जैसे उसने example दिया था Hun Empire या Safavid या Mongolian या Timurian या Tsar है या Russian है, USSR, Soviet. These are all power based on in the land and derive their energy from Siberia and that particular Eastern European region, the heartland region. So ये तो इसके real time application है. In fact, outcome of the First World War and the defeat of the Germany, that is a sea power. So it equally represents the same fact that land power is superior. And post Cold War, in the sense that it has led to the Cold War scenario, wherein the condition was envisaged as in the Cold War was mainly a result of that USSR was a supporter of this particular theory, where Siberia is rather the center of the world geopolitics, right? Siberia and USSR, and the one who controls Siberia ultimately controls the destinies of the world. So the thing is simple over here. This led to one of the tussle, one other reason for the rivaling powers to conflict on. So यहाँ पर इसका Cold War में भी, even nowadays, even if you can connect with the why Russia promoted the development of Siberia by Trans-Siberian Railway है, या Russia और China में जो अभी पैक्ट चल रहा है, because Russia is now more tilted toward the China, या जो पेट्रोलियम पाइपलाइन जो रशिया और चाइना के बीच में लेट की है, all this indicate the same fact. या जो व्लाडिवोस्टोक समिट्स है, summit, all represent the same fact that yes, the heartland theory still has its relevance in the contemporary world. I hope you guys are getting all this thing. Far East Summit जिसको बोलते हैं व्लाडिवोस्टोक Summit, that one. However, the heartland theory equally criticized on many grounds. The thing is, he simply considered कि land और sea power ये मतलब ये tussle इसी base पे होगी. You cannot generalize the fact. Second fact is, you have excessively relied on the the land based resources and its potential, though it is not always a case. Third वाला case है, इसने जो मतलब जो Mackinder ने East Europe यूरोप और साइबेरिया पे जो ओवर फोकस किया था, सी द नेक्स्ट थ्योरी दैट इज अ रीमलैंड थ्योरी, जिसमें मैंने ऑलरेडी वीडियो बना रखा है, यू गाइज आर सपोज टू गो थ्रू दैट आफ्टर दिस वीडियो. So Rimland theory or the Spikeman argues that, see that the heartland, in the heartland theory or Mackinder has overestimated the capacity of the Siberia or the east or heartland region. It is not the heartland, rather the Rimland. It means the midland, inner crescent wala part, the next to the heartland, is rather the power center of the world. And thus you will find equally Mackinder has rejected or overlooked the fact that heartland was a region of permanent difficulty. Snow covered land hai, agriculture nahi ho sakti, and equally, you know, very difficult to connect as well. Nuclear deterrence is the new policy that emerged after the Japan bombing, and that part was somehow not addressed equally over in his theory, right? Because nuclear bombing, now it is not, that doesn't matter, sea power or land power, it equally matters, you know, this aspect as well. And many revisions and updation made the theory, you know, more realistic, though however somehow raising the doubts over on the very philosophy that he believes in. So technology ka role bhi somehow he neglected, and ultimately this theory has to face some criticism. But still, see, we cannot reject the heartland theory altogether. The reason being, there are still modifications in the geopolitics. Those are rooted over in the heartland theory. So I believe ये जो heartland theory थी, इसमें explanations is now pretty much clear to you all. If you really like this video, please like it, share and subscribe. Also don't forget to watch the next geopolitical theory, that is a Rimland theory, in the same list of that playlist. So I wish you all the best. Thank you guys and have a good time.